Hello. Please don't touch me. I'm delicate. And I bite. Love. Rock. Kiss. Only one kiss. Here's rock. Barbie. G'day. Hey, I took girl. Is that Lisa, is it? Uh, Hi, anyone who's joining. My name is Paul and I'm a tour guide here in Edinburgh, Scotland, the capital city. And this is a live stream tour. So, woof, woof, little doggy. So, hello Lisa. Thank you very much for coming on my tour today. Yes, I am an erstwhile tour guide in Edinburgh, Scotland. This is a live stream tour. So for anyone watching this at a later date on YouTube, you will hear me interacting with people who are joining live on the tour. I am not talking to myself. I am not completely daft. So just in case you're watching on YouTube, not live, I am talking to people in the chat, and you cannot see who I'm talking to because the chat doesn't stay on the tours. Hey Loz, Sandy, Rose, put a type of chat in everyone. Say hello in the box so I know who's here. Because unfortunately it doesn't tell me who's here unless you put a message in the chat. How's everyone doing today? Friday today? The weather is what we call in Scotland dreek. And that's me being polite. It's actually not too bad now. 1 second everyone listening. It's actually, I think it's, hi Artie. Diane. Yeah, the weather has been absolutely just disgusting for like weeks on end now. We had one, Easter Sunday was a good day. We had 1 day of sunshine and it lulled us into a false sense of security because we thought that was spring here. Oh, what's happened here? Gimbal's playing up, everyone. Oh, the gimbal's playing up, everyone. Whoa, what's going on here? Whoa, don't tell me I'm having problems with my gimbal. It's like my gimbal has got a life of its own today. Uh-oh. What was the comment in the group? I didn't see that. So this is the Grass Market community project, a social enterprise called the Grass Market Project. This is one of the social enterprise cafes called Coffee Saints Social Enterprise Cafe. And it was made possible by the generous and kind support of Tom Farmer and his wife, Lady Farmer. Tom Farmer was the guy who used to use, who owned Quick Fit. You know, remember Quick Fit, the tyre and exhaust company? You can't get better than a quick fitter, a Quick Fit fitter. And they make their own candles as well, some of the members. The Grass Market. The Grass Market Community Project is a project that helps homeless people, vulnerable people, people with mental health, neurological disorders and so on, people living in poverty. And they have a tartan workshop and they have a candle shop as well. So they make some of the members make their own products as well. So you might want to have a look at this beautiful tartan clock here. They've actually just, some of the volunteers have just been invited to America for Tartan Week. Look, they do little Greyfriars Bobby dogs. Look, how cool is that? A Greyfriars Bobby tartan dog handmade by one of the members, £25. So they've got a website, obviously, just type in Grass Market Community Project onto Google. They do like little purses, little bags. See little purses as well. What's are they? Of course, it's not got a price in it. £11 for a purse. £11. They've got their own. I'm not sure if that's a Grass Market tartan. They've actually got a. Is this a Grass Market tartan? One of my friends actually helped to design the Grass Market Community Project tartan. So they've got lovely ties as well. Lovely ties, £25 in case you're looking forward to buy one for that man in your life. Lovely little cards as well, little bird boxes, little birds. They've actually got a tartan shop that sells their tartan products in Candlemaker Row. You know, just round the corner from Greyfriars. Little cards as well, hand-drawn little cards, £3.50. Cat. That looks like he's in a bad mood, doesn't it? Typical Scottish cat. Ginger and looking angry. Lisa bought gloves, tweed gloves. Oh, it's the 900th anniversary of St Giles this year. 900 years. 900 years anniversary. Little bags as well, little Scotty bags. Look, see a little Bobby. Tote bags as well. So pretty cool place. So they do a pay it forward scheme here. So if you see here, I don't know if you can see it up here on the menu board. Go on, be a saint and pay it £5 forward voucher. So you can come in, they've got a buy it forward, pay it forward scheme. So you buy a voucher for a fiver, then that goes to give a homeless person or somebody vulnerable a meal. Got a little library, a little cafe here as well, nice latte. Oh, look what I can see. I wonder who could have put them there. There we go, pal. Lovely little cakes in the cafe as well. So little cakes on sale. Do you like homemade soup? Everything's homemade. Do you like salads, soups, wraps, so on as well? Obviously, they're trying to make it an Instagram spot as well. So you see here, it's very dog friendly as well. Dog friendly, as we say. So you see up here, this is the logo for Coffee Saints. Yep.
You're going to send people over after your tour.
Advertise it. Yeah, yeah. It increases your sales. People buy stuff online.
Yeah, of course, it's good for the members as well, everything,
So this is supposed to be like for the Instagrammers.
Sorry if you're doing a bit.
That's okay, man. No, just this is the lovely manager, by the way. What's your name?
Ellie.
Ellie.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Hello. She's from Sicily, I've just found out, but she lives in Leith. And you've been here for how long? At least 12 years.
17 years.
17 years, and you've coped with the Scottish weather.
Yeah, of course. Come on, it's too hot. It's too hot.
It's too hot. Oh no, man, it's too cold here. It's too cold here.
Nice to meet you, Paul.
Paul, nice to meet you, pal. You did a good job here as well. This is they've actually got a different coffee shop as well in the Grass Market. So look, you've got a wee step. So you come in the steps, stand in there, and get a selfie taken with you, making yourself look like an angel. She's fit. Oh, thanks for that, Mark. Don't bother about me. Like, it's all pretty. One of my friends helped to design this actually. See, it's all Instagram friendly for the Instagrammers. Coffee and chill. Yeah, pretty cool place. So if you're ever in Edinburgh, it's just next to the St Andrew's Cathedral. Let's go and see a nice little courtyard as well. I don't like the fake grass, however. It's not very environmentally friendly. So on that one day summer in June, they put tables out and they can come and sit here as well. Mark fancies her. Yeah, I think she fancies her. I don't know if is Agatha there. I never saw Agatha coming in. Kerry. Yeah, the weather's miserable. I was actually going to cancel the tour or do a tour from home, and I thought, I'll just come up to town and see what's happening. In fact, I'll just show you this guy here. Excuse me. This guy here, it's Ken Buchanan, this boxer here, famous Scottish boxer. Quite unusually got a statue before he died, actually. It's good for Dougs. That's Ken Buchanan. He's from Leith. He was born in 1945. He was a world champion, undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Held 2 belts at the same time as well. Aye, look, see what it says on the sign. Cafes, coffees, brunches, teas. Shakes, cakes, garden, ethical, and Doug friendly. See, they've spelt Doug the Scottish way. Doug friendly. Good for Dougs. Well, so we've got a Christian bookshop next door as well. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Pray for us sinners now, And pray for us at the hour of our death. Amen. Some nice trying to read all it. It's a Christian bookshop. It's got a lot of Catholic stuff as well. Obviously, it's next to the Catholic Cathedral. Let's go and have a look and just try to get out this. Yeah, so I was just trying to think of what I could do to go and try and stay dry. So that's why I started the tour. Inside the coffee shop. So I'm just trying to avoid the weather. As I say, I was going to cancel the tour, or I was thinking maybe I'd do a tour from home. St. Peter, of course, on the road to Damascus. Like myself, I had a conversion. Hi, Agatha. How's it going? So the Catholic Council, a Catholic church, St. Mary's, of course. And this is the Cardinal. He's the top Catholic in Scotland, Cardinal Grey. The last Cardinal had to resign in disgrace, unfortunately. The Virgin Mary, of course. Quite modern stained glass windows. There's actually a shrine to St. Andrew in here. If you see here, so Catholics were actually illegal after the Protestant Reformation of 1560. It actually became illegal in Scotland to be a Catholic. And as you can see here, in 1801, the Bishop George Hay chose this site for a new Catholic church in Edinburgh. The earlier Catholic chapels in the centre had been badly damaged in attacks by the mobs, and Bishop Hay wanted the new church to be hidden from public view. So the first Mass was celebrated in here in 1814. It's a very different looking building back in these times. It's very small and plain. And it was the poor people of Edinburgh who actually financed it as well. Then what happened was the Industrial Revolution, the Highland clearances, the man-made famine happened in the 19th century. And then so in 1886, the Catholic Church was restored in Scotland actually. Mainly due in thanks to the Irish Catholics who came here fleeing the man-made famine. So of course it's Catholic. So I have lots of auditory statues. Jesus will be in the tabernacle as well. There's a nice stained glass window there. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes you see at the top. I always speak quietly in a church. I don't know if that's St. Anthony. Who's this? I can't see it. Sometimes the statues look quite similar. Of course, Edinburgh has a big Polish community now. This is a Polish apparition that we've seen. And there's Pope John Paul II came here, the Polish Pope, of course. Pope John Paul II came to Edinburgh in 1982, I think it was. Over 500,000 people went to a Mass in Glasgow. They held a big celebration in the rugby stadium as well, with 60,000 people here in Edinburgh. About 200,000 people turned up to see him travel through Edinburgh. And Edinburgh today has got Edinburgh's had a long time Polish population ever since the World War II. A lot of Polish settled in Scotland and Edinburgh after the war. There's confession boxes. Forgive me, Father. It's been 6 years since my last confession, so I have booked a double session with you. Is that okay? Yeah, Edinburgh's got a big Polish community, so they have a lot of Polish masses. Oops. They have Polish masses here, of course. And of course, this is the shrine to our patron saint. Have I ever been in one? On the occasion. So this is a shrine to our patron saint, St Andrew, of course. His relics were brought here sometime between the 4th and the 8th century. There's a couple of different versions of how his relics came here. But the basic story is the followers of St Andrew, who was of course the first apostle, a fisherman. Come with me and I'll make you a fisher of men, he said. And his brother became the first pope. And of course, after Jesus got martyred, all the apostles except John were martyred as well. And St Andrew was crucified diagonally on a cross because he wasn't worthy to get crucified like Jesus, of course. And so his followers were told to take his relics to the end of the earth. And of course they ended up here in Scotland, in what is now known today as St Andrews. Of course it wasn't called St Andrews then. So I've just noticed they've got the Star of David up there. I assume it's the Star of David, it looks like it. And yeah, we've got, after the Reformation, the relics were lost and damaged and destroyed. So new relics came in 1879, and then another relic came in 1969 as well. So St Andrew's Day is of course the 30th of November. So this is a little shrine to him, just in case anybody wants to come to Edinburgh. There's St Andrew himself with his diagonal cross. Right there it's there, see the X. He said he wasn't worthy to get crucified like Jesus. There's a few people in praying, but I'm just trying to speak as hopefully you can hear me. I'm just trying to keep quiet because there's people in praying. Lovely altar here. Big tabernacle at the back there. So Jesus is always kept in the tabernacle in a Catholic church. Of course, when Catholics go to Mass, every Mass is a sacrifice, and the Catholics believe that the bread and wine becomes the body and blood of Jesus. Transubstantiation it's called. Whereas the Protestants, depending on what Protestant sect or what Protestant, there's lots of different Protestant churches, they believe, the Protestants tend to believe that Jesus is merely present when they have a communion Mass. But the Catholics believe that Jesus actually is present in the blood and the wine. I remember I saw a thing online, it was, you know that, I can't believe it's not butter. You know, it's like fake margarine, fake butter. I can't believe it's not butter or something like that. I saw one once online with a bag of hosts, which the bread that the Catholics use to turn into Jesus' body during the Mass, and somebody had put on the packet, I can't believe it's not Jesus. I thought that was quite funny as a Catholic. Can hear fine, okay, perfect. Quite high ceilings, lovely stained glass windows, of course. I'll light a candle for everyone, okay? So better put 1 second, everyone. I'm just going to light a candle for everyone watching, okay? I'm just going to see. It's 50p. I'm actually going to put in £1 because I came in here once before and I lit a candle and I never used. In fact, I've just remembered I came in here one time before and this lady told me to stop speaking, and then I lit a candle and she's like that. Remember, and put the 50 pence in the. And I didn't have 50 pence, so I just stalled her. I says, oh yes, of course. So I just lit a candle for everyone here, just in case you've lost any loved ones recently. It's like my gloves, by the way, I've got to keep a finger hole free. So I just lit half a candle there for anyone who's lost anyone recently. of course here we have the Stations of the Cross, one of the most depressing parts. Oh! Oh, I wonder. Yeah, the Stations of the Cross is not my favourite thing during Lent. Okay, I can speak now. There we go. Ah, still raining. I was hoping the rain was going to be off. Oh, I always try and speak quietly when I'm in a church. Not so much St Giles Cathedral, because that is more of a tourist sort of destination. Oh, 1 second, everyone. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the gimbal today. The gimbal's going nuts, man. No. Excuse me, I just got asked. A girl just asked me, am I Brian? No, last time I checked, my name wasn't Brian. So look at this miserable Scottish weather in April. Look at it, there's Colin Hill up there. It's almost disappeared. Bloody thing. Yeah, it's cheesed me off so much. I wasn't going to go to Spain this year, but the weather's cheesed me off that much. I've just booked a holiday to Spain, so I'm going to walk across Spain again on the Camino de Santiago. I'm going to go and meet the brother. We've just met St Andrew there. We're going to meet St James in Spain if I make it all the way to Santiago. It's yeah, I actually walked the Camino before, and when I went to Mass, I had to go. When you arrive, you're supposed to go to confession, right? So I went to confession. It was an Irish priest. I just burst into tears. Forgive me, Father, I'm a sinner. I sin every day. Because it was so emotional getting to the end of the Camino, you know. And the priest must have felt sorry for me, because he asked me to come back the next again morning and do a reading in the cathedral in Santiago. So believe it or not, everyone, I got asked to do a reading in Santiago Cathedral, one of the finest cathedrals in the whole of Europe, one of the most important cathedrals in the whole of Europe. Can you believe that? Paul, the Ned, the JK from Leith got asked to do a reading in the Cathedral of Santiago. How much the poor people who were at the Mass understood, I have no idea, because I did not have a very clear voice back in these times. So I don't know how much they would have understood of my dulcet Scottish tones. And here's for Conan Doyle's part. The Conan Doyle. Oh, what kind of noise was that? That coach is just travelling so fast, and he's driving right up this car's backside. If that car braked, the coach would be right in the back. Yeah, this is kind of like a pub, the Conan Doyle. They do food, so they say they're famous pies, right? Look, oh look at the gimbal's playing up today, man. Don't know what's going on today. Is the big church open over there? It's actually two churches, St Paul's and St George's, joined together. I don't know. It's never open. Yeah, it's never open. I've never been able to get in there. I've never been able to get in that church. I do like the architecture of this. It's Episcopalian, I think. I do like the architecture of that church, St Paul's and St George's. But yeah, I've never been at it. The door never seems to be open. I'll go across and see, like. Give me a second, I'll go over. But try not to get killed in the process. You watch out for trams, cyclists, motorbikes, cars. You name it. It's, well, here we go. Let's get across the road, everyone. Let's see if I can go. Oh, I'm falling over and everything. That's shut. Can't even get in. Shut. I don't know how you can get into that. Yeah, I've never been in that church actually. Oh, sorry everyone for keeping my umbrella in the way. Yeah, the door's locked. I'll need to contact him perhaps and see if I can get on see if I can get a wee quick visit in. York Lane, this is York Place, named after the Grand Old Duke of York, who had 10,000 men. Yeah, luckily it's not too windy today. Hey Jolene, yeah, this is York Place, so Princess Street is just up to the left. Okay, so this is York Place. As I said, named after the Duke of York. And that links onto Queen Street along there, so that's Queen Street along there. I'll show you, I'll get your bearings in a second. I'll cut up to St Andrew's Square, okay? There we go, cross over the road. Yeah, the green man's on. Yeah, you'll get your bearings as to where we are in a wee second. I've actually got a few private tours next week. Just missed the green man. I've got a private tour on, is it Thursday? 12. Can't remember, but anyway, I've got three private tours next week. 2 of them for 2 hours and 1 for 8 hours. I've got a train spotting tour on Sunday as well in person. And then the season starts for the coach work at the end of April, beginning of May. But Edinburgh, I was in the centre of Edinburgh today, before I started the tour obviously. And even though the weather's been terrible, the city centre is actually really busy today. What would be an 8-hour tour? I'm going to Edinburgh Castle, so I'm going to pick them up. The hotel is just behind me. So we'll walk up to the castle, we'll do a tour of the castle, they'll get a bit of free time in there, and then they're going to Mary King's Close for a tour there. And then we'll go for lunch, a little tour of the old town, cut back into the new town, a tour of the new town, and then we'll go to the pub for a pint. So, yeah, I've never done an 8-hour tour before, in person. Obviously I go away on 2-week and 3-week tours, where you're with them all day. But I've never done a private tour for 8 hours walking. So, yeah, quite interested to find out how it's going to work out. So that there now cuts into Queen Street, one of the 3 original streets of the new town of Edinburgh, of course. How's Linda doing? By the way, how's Linda? How's life in New York? Of course, this is the National Portrait Gallery. Quite unusual with the red sandstone in Edinburgh. Statue of Mary Queen of Scots up there, of course. I can't zoom in anyone because I've got my umbrella in one hand. That's the problem when it rains, because when you're doing the virtual tour, it's good to have the it's good to have a free hand, but yeah, I haven't got a free hand, so I can't zoom in. So that's the National Portrait Gallery. I did try to do a tour in there before, but the signal, almost as soon as you go in to the Portrait Gallery, the signal cuts out. So yeah, I might go and do a pre-recorded tour actually. I'll do maybe an art gallery tour, is that a good idea? I'll do like a pre-recorded tour, because you can't get a signal in the places because the stonework's quite thick, you know. Oh, the wind's picking up. Oh, trust me to say it's not too windy today. You see other people with the... You've got sun? Seriously? Wow. That red stone could possibly be in Manchester and Liverpool. I come from the west coast of Scotland actually. Edinburgh is mostly yellow sandstone, which came from Edinburgh, from Craigleith Quarry. But they ran out of that because it was sent all over the world. I think even America got some of their sandstone. The tramp. The Royal Yacht Britannia got the #1 attraction in Britain. Wow. By the way, just in case you don't know, on my YouTube channel there is a video of Britannia. So if you want to see the Britannia, go on my YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. Press like. Leave a comment. So all these buildings now are getting converted into hotels now. A lot of these buildings were residential, well originally they were residential, then they became offices, investment offices, insurance companies and so on. But now a lot of the buildings are actually getting sold off and turned into hotels. So that's what's happening. So we're in St Andrew's Square. Hi Sarah. So there's Princess Street down there, where my black pointer's pointing. It probably comes in handy for something, doesn't it? So down there is Princess Street, we're in St Andrew's Square, of course. This was the oldest part of the original New Town, which was built from 1767 onwards. Oh, the Mary Queen of Scots thing's gone, is it? There used to be a little thing here, because, you know, these things, these board things you can stick your head through, and it's like a person. So this one was Mary Queen of Scots, and it's gone. Hey, when does the siren out, Linda? Aberdeen is granite. Yeah, well, yeah, Aberdeen's made out of granite. They call it the Granite City, but the marketing department didn't like that, so they called it the Silver City, because granite, when it gets wet, glistens like silver, allegedly. And having been to Aberdeen several times, and I've seen the weather several times being quite bad, I've never seen the granite sparkling like silver. But anyway, Aberdoom we call it. Aberdoom. These used to be private gardens actually when they were first built. But the council took a deal. The council took over the management of them. They're still owned by the people who own the properties here. But the council did a deal, because when it was, oh, the wind's picking up. When it was first built, the gardens were kept private for the people who lived here. They didn't want the riffraff like us people from Leith coming here. So eventually the gardens became open to the public. Quite a nice area actually. Yeah, especially with that, you know, as I say, that one day of summer we get in June. The daffodils are still out. You can come and get some vitamin D. In Scotland we only get vitamin D from April to October, 6 months. For 6 months of the year only we get vitamin D in Scotland, so you have to take vitamin D tablets in the winter. Of course, these are my modern pet hate.
It's Ocean Terminal, not.
Lots of tourists here at the weekend, as you can probably see. Edinburgh's a very popular weekend break, of course. Is it stopped raining? One second. Just going to try and get a picture of the Scott Monument. See this? They've changed the airport buses sit here now. See the Scots Monument? It's not something. Yeah, see on the left hand side, in front of the Scots Monument, there is always an airport bus parked there. So you can never get a clear picture now of the Scots Monument. That's the second largest monument to an author anywhere in the world, dedicated to Sir Walter Scott, of course. And the largest monument to an author is in Cuba, in Havana, and that's dedicated to Jose Martin, okay? By the way, just in case anyone from Taiwan is watching, or any Taiwanese people, send in positive thoughts to Taiwan. From the sounds of it, it could have been a lot worse. Here's James Clerk Maxwell, one of the most important. Oh, I need to sneeze. James Clerk Maxwell, a mathematician, scientist, specialised in gases, and his work led to the development of Wi-Fi and mobile phones, believe it or not. Albert Einstein considered him the third most intelligent person ever to live. He's not very well known, James Clerk Maxwell. The guy on the statue behind, oh Jesus, holy moly, in the name of Mother and God, you see the wind's picking up. You see the things us tour guides do for you. I hope you I hope you appreciate all the hard work and stress we get put under just for you guys to have an hour's entertainment from home, from the nice warm comfort of your room, drinking Scotch whisky and eating shortbread. Oh. Holy moly! Yes, well that's why I've booked a holiday. But Diane was saying there's a big heat wave due in Europe. There's some big heat wave coming in, extreme weather. The jet streams have been trapped. That's what we've been getting crap weather for ages. And suddenly the jet streams have been trapped somewhere. And that's why we keep on getting this repetitive weather. It's bloody annoying. Oh. It's at certain points the wind just goes nuts for some reason. Yeah, I've not lost an umbrella for about a year and a half maybe. I think the year before I lost 3 umbrellas in 1 year. But I've not lost one. I've not had one break on me for a while. That's the George Hotel over there. Nice hotel, the George. Named after King George III, of course. And this is where the Protestant, after the Reformation, the Church of Scotland, who are Presbyterian, became an established church. But in 1843, the Church of Scotland itself split, and in that building, it was called the Great Disruption. And that's when the Church of Scotland split. And the Free Church of Scotland was set up as well. Unfortunately, like a lot of these buildings round about this area, a lot of the wee Free Church of Scotland churches were actually built on the proceeds of slavery. So, this is George Street we're on. It's much wider than any other street in Edinburgh, because King George III, who was the reigning British monarch when the new town was developed, wanted his street, named after him, to be the widest, grandest street in Edinburgh's new town. He never visited Edinburgh once, King George III, and he's the famous King George that people call Mad King George. Mad King George, okay? His son did not like him, and his son did not like each other. They fell out. And King George IV came to Scotland. In fact, let me see if you can guess the date. Do we have any intelligent people here? I'm going to test your knowledge of Roman numericals, numbers. So see here, George IV. Here he is, with the seagull on his head. Ooh. So see here. Anyone guess the date he came to Scotland, Edinburgh? MDCCC XX11. George IV visited Scotland. MDCCC XX11. Who knows when that was? Come on, intelligent people. Oh, I've just dropped my microphone. 1 second, everyone. I just dropped my microphone. 1 second, I'm going to have to stop. I'm not having the best of days today. My microphone has fell out. 1822! I knew I had lots of intelligent people. That's right. George IV graced us with his presence in 1822. 1 second, everyone. And that's when tartan was repopularised. 1 second, everyone. I'm just going to put this down for a wee second. Oh! Sorry, everyone. It was quite funny when George IV came. Sir Walter Scott was given the task of organising his welcoming party and the celebrations. And obviously he arrived in Leith, which is the dock area, of course, where I live. And the weather was so bad, there was tens of thousands of people. It was a ticketed event. And the weather was so bad, King George's ship got stuck at sea for an extra day. However, the people who had bought tickets, they were determined to go ahead with the celebration. So the party went ahead without King George even being there. Raindrops on the lens. One second. Oh, I've got a tissue. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Is that any better? It's hard for me to tell, actually. This has turned into a Brazilian restaurant, actually. See here, the cell rooms. Look. Seemingly it was quite good. A Brazilian steakhouse. This is the assembly rooms. Of course, when the rich moved here, after decanting the old town from 1767 onwards, the rich needed somewhere to socialise. So the assembly rooms were built. And yeah, so when King George came, that's when tartan was repopularised. Because after the Jacobite Rebellion of 1746, tartan was banned for a while after the Jacobite Rebellion, led by Bonnie Prince Charlie, of course. The British banned tartan, and then you could only wear tartan if you joined the British forces, of course. And of course the British forces who joined, the Scottish forces who joined the British Army or forces were tended to be used as cannon. They were used as cannon fodder. They were sent in first, you know. Yeah, send in the Scots, let them get slaughtered first. Then the English will go in behind them and take all the glory, you know. So tartan was banned. It was associated with the Gaelic-speaking heathens of the Highlands. The siren could be soon. And yes, so everyone was wearing tartan for the arrival of King George IV, including King George IV himself. King George IV thought he would try and ingratiate himself with the local people in Scotland, so he decided to buy a kilt. You know the Scottish kilt? The tartan skirt, as some people call it. And now when you wear a kilt is supposed to go to your kneecap, okay? So a man who is wearing a kilt, the kilt is supposed to go to his kneecap, okay? King George IV got ripped off. He actually came with a mini skirt on. A mini skirt. A mini kilt. A tartan mini kilt. Can you believe it? And King George IV was quite rotund, shall we say. He was quite a little fat guy. And to make it even worse, as well as wearing a mini skirt, he was wearing pink tights. Pink tights. Can you believe that, everyone? King George IV was wearing pink tights and a tartan mini kilt. And his big fat belly. He looked ridiculous. Now, inside the portrait gallery, which we just went past, there is a famous painting of the visit of King George IV. However, his kilt is the normal length. He's not wearing pink tights. So it's like an early form of photoshopping. So never trust a painting. Oh, sorry, I went past here. Look. This is quite an important building, actually. Yeah. Can you see what I can see? This is really wasn't Prince Albert. Look, see the lighthouse? This is where all the lighthouses are controlled from. See here? Look. The commissioners of the Northern Lighthouses. So obviously Robert Louis Stevenson's family, not him, most of his family members were engineers, lighthouse engineers. And obviously they were powered by whale oil, and they were operated by men, the lighthouses. Obviously as technology advanced, they became automated. They've been here since 1832. This is one of his most famous ones. Bell Rock. Now it's all automated. Most of them are automated. There are one or two, I think, that are still controlled by men. So Robert Stevenson was the engineer. The oldest working sea-wash lighthouse in the world. And it's been keeping mariners safe for over 200 years. It became automated in 1988, and it's remotely monitored inside this building. You can see the lights for 18 miles. So obviously that was Robert Louis Stevenson's family, his dad. Well, it's actually his stepdad. It's good to see that you all pay attention to some of my useless information that I try and pass on to his Prince Albert and all that, you know. You get all the juicy content on my tours, of course. In fact, yeah, last time I did a tour, remember we went to see Robert Louis Stevenson's house, where he grew up. Remember that? See, I take you to all the usual places in Edinburgh. I'm trying to stay away from the old town, because as some of you will know, I'm not getting a very good signal in the old town. I might need to try and go up during the week, when it's not as busy. Maybe like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and see if that makes a difference in the old town. Because just every time I go up, I just seem to have bloody nightmare problems with the signal. Oh, this is an excellent shop here, by the way. Slater Menswear. He's Slater Menswear. When I was homeless, actually, when I was training to be a tour guide with Invisible Cities, I had become a tour guide. What was it I was doing? Oh, that's right. You know the TV programme, The Apprentice? In Britain, it's Alan Sugar, Lord Sugar, Amstrad guy. In America, I think Donald Trump was doing it in America for a while. Was he not? Hi Linda, how you doing? What was I talking about there? This car going. Aye, The Apprentice, the TV programme. Yeah, I applied to go on it. And they gave me a free suit. I got a free suit from them. A 3-piece suit and a pair of shoes. A shirt and a tie. Because they're a famous menswear shop mainly. But they do a lot for charities and poor people. You know, like for homeless people and stuff like that. If you've got a job interview or something coming up, they'll dress you out in a suit. Or was it to go to the Times? It was either The Apprentice or the Times. I've done that much stuff in the last few years. I got work experience at the Times newspaper. I got a few days work experience to how to do research with the Times. I'm not going down there. Why did I go down here? I was going down there to show you the castle in the fog, and I lost the signal. Let's go back up. Well, I was going to go down there and show you the castle, but then there's actually a bad signal area down there as well. There's a part of Princess Street that the bloody signal drops as well. It's a pain in the butt. Yeah, I applied to go on The Apprentice, and I got through a few rounds. And then they went on Google, and they googled Paul Stewart Leith. And this was before I got lots of reviews and articles in newspapers and magazines. So in 2004, I launched Scotland's first cannabis cafe, called the Purple Haze Cafe. I got fined £500, but I never paid the fine. So if you don't like this tour, and you don't want to see me for a few weeks, phone up the police and tell them, because I've got a warrant out for my arrest. So I never paid the fine for the cannabis cafe. So they went and done a Google search on me, and they found out about the Purple Haze Cafe. And of course, that wouldn't sit well with the BBC on a programme as large as The Apprentice. So they disqualified me. I got disqualified from The Apprentice. You look at it, nosy person. Look, that name might ring a bell. Witherspoon's Alexander Graham Bell lived just around the corner. Well, he was born just around the corner here. Yeah, my idea was to have an electric, open-top, topless tour bus, and the guides were going to be homeless tour guides, and of course it was going to be in Edinburgh. So you know the open-top tour buses that go about. So my idea was to have an electric one. You're talking, this is 4 years ago, and the unique selling point was the guides on the open-top electric tour bus were going to be homeless people, or people formerly homeless. And that is easily scalable. You could scale that up in any city in the world. So I think I would have done quite well at that, but I never got the chance to show off my skills to Lord Sugar on the telly. And then a year later, in Barcelona, guess what happened? Aye, somebody started with an electric open-top tour bus. Swines. Not with homeless tour guides, of course. So this is now we're in Charlotte Square, of course. Named after the wife of King George. This square was supposed to be called St. George's Square, after the patron saint of England, because the other square was named after St. Andrew of Scotland. But we already had a George's Square near Edinburgh University, so they had to change it. It was confusing the sat-navs back in the 1800s, you know. So it's named after his wife Charlotte. Someone's phoning. This is a really awkward road to cross here. Charlotte Square, one of the most expensive squares in Edinburgh. Houses are worth millions of pounds. There's very few of them that are like residential anymore. These were all for the rich people. Mostly slave owners, actually. It was mostly slave owners that could afford these houses here. Or people who owned the plantations and so on. You know, in the colonies like Jamaica. Rum, sugar, cotton, tobacco, and so on, and slaves, of course. Oh, the weather's terrible. Look, so there we go. Look, the inventor of the telephone was born here on the 3rd of March 1847. He's not Canadian, he's not American. So all you Americans and Canadians that think Alexander Graham Bell is yours, he's not. He's ours. Scottish as the heather in the glen. God, I talk some absolute piss, don't I? God almighty, one day I'll just... Woo! One day I'll get caught out, I think. Oh. God, the weather's just got worse. There we go, I'm going to cross this road before I get killed. Oh, talk about Prince Albert, by the way, there he is there. His penis was as large as a horse's one. Look. He used to compete with the horses to see who had the biggest penis. Can't really see him. I can't zoom in because I've got an umbrella. There it is. Prince Albert on his... looking resplendent on the horse there. When Queen Victoria came to unveil it, he died quite young, didn't he? Poor Prince Albert. Must have been all that stress of continually having lots of sex with Queen Victoria. They used to romp for days on end. Of course, on cocaine and opium and laughing gas and alcohol. You name it. So there he's there. Sorry I can't zoom in. But yeah, when Queen Victoria came to unveil it, she liked the statue so much that she immediately gave the sculptor a knighthood. Right, man, take up the whole pavement, buddy. Oh, I didn't lose anyone there. Oh, I thought I might have lost people there. I got away with it again. The joys of being a virtual tour guide. Oh, John Logie Baird, of course, invented his television. Scotland invented the modern world. I think Diane put a post up the other day there about all the Scottish inventions. The hypodermic needle was invented by the Scots. So the next time you get your vaccine, you can blame the Scots for the pain in your arm. But just remember, it was actually invented to enhance the enjoyment of opium. A lot of the Victorians were drug addicts, opium and cocaine, and so on. So, yeah, the BBC, the Bank of England, the ATM, the overdraft, the fridge, the bicycle, the raincoat, tarmac, telephone, radar, the kaleidoscope, television, you name it. That's why Edinburgh is called the Athens of the North. Ah, there's hundreds, man. The raincoat. Macintosh, of course. Ah, look, so that's the First Minister's house. Number 6 Butte House, beautiful house, with the fan windows. Greek neoclassical Doric architecture, of course. Beautiful building. Oh, I lost a few people. Must have been all that talk about penises. People should know who I am by now. Surely. Surely nobody gets offended on my tours anymore. I've been doing virtual tours for like 3.5 years. If people don't know what I'm like, just to quickly show you off this. Lord Lister, of course, born in 1870, died in 1877. Hi! Trish. So see, I don't know if you can see it on the pillar. Lord Lister, you know Listerine, the mouthwash. This guy pioneered anaesthetic. He was a surgeon. But yeah, before him, they didn't really give two hoots about hygiene when they were operating on people. The dirtier, the more grosser, they looked better. But then he discovered that if you clean things, you know, antiseptic, if you clean things, there was less chance of the patient dying from infection. So, you can thank him, and that's who the Listerine mouthwash is named after as well, Lord Lister. I think he was born in Glasgow. He went to Glasgow University, but I think he came to Edinburgh University as well. Hi Ronnie, I've got to go. You've missed the whole tour. You'll need to watch it back on YouTube. It's rained the whole tour. Gee whiz. Yeah, it's rained. See these lights, by the way? These were powered by whale oil as well as the lighthouses. The street lights were powered by whale oil as well. Scotland was a whale hunting nation up until the 1960s. Oh, I heard the siren there. I thought we were going to get away with a siren. Just heard the siren. And yeah, they used to use liver oil to power the whale oil. And there's a famous story I tell on my tours in Leith. A boat from deepest, darkest Russia came into Leith. And they found out the streetlights were powered by whale oil. So they started stealing all the whale oil. Leith was plunged into darkness for days. And they couldn't figure out what was going on. And they discovered it was the sailors. Because as soon as they were filling up the lights, the sailors were stealing it and drinking it. Because it turns out that liver oil, whale oil, was a local delicacy. But that'd be like the Scots going to their country and finding out the street lights were filled with whiskey. The Scots would be stealing that too. But how tough was their life if whale oil was a luxury? We just had a mini earthquake here, seriously. Oh wow. Oh gee whiz, well that's the tour over everyone. I can't take any more. I just can't take it, Captain. I'm going to have to go, everyone, because my hand's freezing cold. I hope you enjoyed the tour. As I say, because of the weather, it wasn't really a themed tour of anything. I just thought we'll go for a little walk and see what we discover. And hopefully the rain will finish, but it didn't finish. So I've got another tour on tomorrow. I think it's a slightly earlier time tomorrow. So if you have not already subscribed to my channel on YouTube, can you please subscribe? Can you also like the videos? Watch some of the videos. If you are a new subscriber, you have to watch a video, some of my content, for at least 3 minutes, okay? For at least 3 minutes. Otherwise, YouTube just unsubscribes you, and it thinks you're a robot. So thank you very much, everyone. Hopefully you can join my tour tomorrow. Hopefully the weather will improve. There is a big storm forecast tomorrow, but I think it's going to miss Edinburgh. It looks like it's going to be dry tomorrow afternoon, so wish me luck, everyone. Let's see what happens tomorrow. And next week I'm going to try and go to Lithgow on tour, and then I'll be doing a tour of Pamplona. I've not got time to do a tour in Madrid, but watch out, I've got some new tours coming up in the next few weeks, everyone. So thank you very much. Have a great day, everyone, and hopefully I will see some of you tomorrow. Take care and thank you very much. If you want to leave a tip or a donation, you can do so on PayPal or buy me a coffee, everyone. Take care. Woo, my umbrella's just falling now.